Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is David Rubie-Todd. I am, as Rami said, one of the co-founders of Wavepower. Wavepower is developing commercially viable wave energy technology with the ultimate aim of supplying many people around the world with clean, sustainable, renewable energy, much as the same as the guys who have just spoken. I'm here to talk to you today about the approach we're taking to that technology development process, and it's something we think is extremely important, and we've tried to approach it slightly differently, and I'll illustrate a little bit of that in here. I'll keep it nice and short, and if you've got any questions, please ask in the panel at the end. So firstly, I want to talk about people and culture. When I talk about culture, what I really mean is the behaviours, and it's the set of rules that you live by, that the company lives by, and it helps you make decisions, and it really guides the team. We're a team of about 40 people, and having that strong culture is really important, because you've got to give people autonomy, you've got to allow them to make their decisions. It's quite a busy slide. I wanted to pull out 3 points. The first being continuous improvement. It's something we really focus on, and that's both in the people and the technology. I think a lot of companies like ourselves, we focus all about their technology, but actually the people make those decisions. They work hard or not, and what we really look for is people with we call it a growth mindset. It's people that are constantly willing, they want to improve, they want to develop, and by them improving as individuals, the team and the performance of that team continually improves, and that's all very, very important in creating a successful business. The second point I wanted to talk about was the importance of candor and honesty. When I talk about candor, what I mean is frank discussions, really getting to the nub, to the important points quickly, and not being too fluffy in your conversations. And it's a really, really important point that maybe the Brits aren't so good at. And I think what it allows you to do is it allows you to speed up all your interactions, really. It speed up the development process, really by cutting to the chase. And the key points in that is it creates what we call a meritocracy. So the best ideas win. It's not necessarily the person at the top of the hierarchy. It's about the best ideas coming through. The final thing is, which is something we've done a lot of over the past 3 years, is learning from others. It's something that we can all do, and wave energy isn't something new. People have been trying since the 70s, and there's a lot of information out there on a lot of different devices, and by spending a bit of time looking, we can learn a lot from the people that have come before us. And part of the introduction about us finding the best people is they've got deep domain knowledge, and what they've done is work for other companies in the industry. So we have people from Polaris, Aquamarine, TEL, and others, and that's, we believe, really important. The other thing that we've done is pull people from other industries. Our chief exec, Mark, he used to run Williams Formula One race team, and that kind of culture within our business and that kind of process is something we think is really important. The next thing, so that's the kind of the people and the culture, which is what we believe is the most important, and then it's about the process that they follow. We call this the development V, and just to explain it a little bit, it's starting on the left-hand side with taking a systems engineering approach, really understanding the requirements of the system we're building. It's a complex system. There's many different stakeholders that are interested. We're ultimately trying to build a power plant, so it's everything we were just talking earlier about understanding what the environmental impacts are, and the key points on the engineering side of things, but also the financiers. There's a lot of different stakeholders to satisfy, and making sure all of those are well understood is important. And then really iterating quickly throughout the design process, and doing sort of taking we call it a three-pillar approach. So looking at the numerical modeling, so modeling on the computer, alongside physical experimental testing in the workshop, whether that's tank testing or specific rigs, and finally offshore testing. And doing all of these three at the same time and constantly iterating and correlating between them. And really the aim with this is to shorten that process. And the automotive sector is a great example of an industry that have adopted this approach and are producing some great products out of it. Yes, they're slightly more advanced than we are, but the principles, the fundamentals are the same. So Wavepower are aiming to reduce this time, this design process through concurrent engineering, so running multiple projects simultaneously. As I said earlier, capturing those requirements early and really iterating fast. And that takes me on to this slide, which really shows that simulation on the computer is at the heart. What that doesn't mean is that's the only thing you do, and it's quite the opposite. It's really important that we're in the tanks, we're offshore, we're working on test rigs all simultaneously, and all what we call is correlation is the key. So making sure all of these experiments match each other and the results are in line with one another. That's a lot of time over the last few years in conversations talking about how when you get into the water, things are quite different, whether it's a behavior or it's a power output. And ideally, you catch these things earlier through adopting an approach like this. And to give you an idea, in Formula One, they run a lot of computational fluid dynamics, or a modeling system, and on average, only about 30% of that experiment correlates. So it's quite a low number for such an advanced industry. So it highlights in a new industry like ours the absolute importance of making sure we're doing a lot of these different things simultaneously to ensure we're correlating all the way through. Kept it nice and short because I knew we'd overrun, and we had about 10 minutes. So I just wanted to one of the advantages of standing up here is I could plug Wavepower, and we're recently setting up in Wales. We've got an office, we have done for a few months, but we're looking for a big facility, and we're looking to grow in size to about 70 people. So very interested to talk to anyone who's either looking to get into the sector or is in the sector, and we've got a lot of job adverts on the website and those sorts of things, but myself and Steve Worth. Steve, can you stand up wherever you are? Steve Worth is a few days into the company. Steve's our engineering manager for the Welsh office, and so he'll be running the show in Wales. So please go and chat to him. Hopefully that gives you a very, very brief overview of the approach we're taking to the technology and its development, and the results will show in the coming months. Thank you very much.